So how was y'all's Monday? Because I got to tell you, I'm filming this on Monday, guys, even though I know I released it on Tuesday. Wow, a lot happens in the NFL world. News breaks that it's a report, who knows if it's true or not, but the Eagles they do not plan to interview Mike Kafka. I don't know why. I can't tell you what's going on there. Maybe Mike Kafka just told him he doesn't have interest, or maybe it was all smokescreen and they never had that much interest in Mike Kafka, but they were trying to use maybe a little bit of deception here. I don't know. But Josh McDaniels, man. Josh McDaniels in a 9-hour interview, guys. Let's talk about it, guys. That's, if you're not a Josh McDaniel fan, that's not a good turn of events for you. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this. Once again, guys, my name is Stephen Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. Wow. Oh, wow. NFL week took some interesting turns over the weekend, right? I mean, Brian Daboll, clearly the favorite to land with the Chargers. He turned them down. And, there's a part of me that gets excited because, I'd really like to see Brian Daboll in Philadelphia as the head coach. I mean, he's got connections to Jalen Hurts as he was there his sophomore year at Alabama. And he's developed a quarterback that in many ways has similarities to Carson Wentz. It's not a bad situation, especially if he gets the opportunity to choose. Because then you can have a legit camp and you can have a legit competition. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think he likes the situation in Buffalo. He's got a defensive-minded, head coach. He's basically the man on offense. He's got a young running back. He's got a good offensive line. He's got a young quarterback that looks to be like a future star in this league. And he's got good receiver play. I think it might be a little hard to coax him out of there. I'm not going to lie to you. You might have to, smoke his butt up out of there because I don't think he's going. I'd like to see him, though. I'm not going to lie. News breaks, guys. Josh McDaniels seems to be the apple of the eye now. I mean, it's tough, man. There's positives. There's a lot of negatives to Josh McDaniels, too. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to say that it's the worst hiring in the world if it happens, but I got concerns, man. I definitely have concerns about Josh McDaniel. I'm not going to lie, but let's get into it, guys. Let's talk a little bit. I want to start off with, let's talk about some of this stuff, that deals with his scheme, okay? Let's start with scheme-specific things in Josh McDaniels. Let me talk for a minute about what Josh McDaniels' scheme is, guys. It is very much a low 11-man personnel. I mean, it's still the dominant package as it is pretty much across the league. He runs roughly around 50 to 55% of his formations out of 11-man personnel, which is weird since Josh McDaniels is credited as the guy who basically brought forth and presented the modern slot receiver to the NFL. But, he's a little low on that one here recently. This past season, they didn't use as much 12-man personnel as they've used in the past, but he can be heavy tight end dependent. He likes two-back sets, guys. He's kind of, that's where him and I would get along. I'm a big proponent of two-back sets as well. He's a big two-back set guy. He does use a lot of lead blocks, which kind of leads into his running scheme and what he is. He's definitely more run-heavy compared to a Doug Peterson. When we talk about what his system is in terms of, what we call him, his outside zone. So he's outside zone run with power run. That's what he does, guys. It's kind of his staples of his run game. He's pretty good at it. He's had success with, quasi-decent running backs. I'm not going to say he's had no talent at the running back position because, he's clearly had some talent there at running back. But at the end of the day, guys, he's almost 50-50 past the run rate. He definitely likes to build off of play-action passing. It's definitely a staple. He's top 10 in play-action passing. That's one of the things he likes to do. He's not a big RPO guy. He's way down on the bottom of the list at RPOs. To give you guys a sense of how low he is on the RPO perspective here, guys. In terms of RPOs, here's the hard data, guys. The Arizona Cardinals led the league with 124 passing attempts from RPOs. And you come all the way down to towards the bottom of the league. They're 20-something, guys. I don't know the exact number here. But they only ran 18 RPOs on the season, the Patriots did. by example from the Eagles. They were fourth in the league last year with 67 RPOs. The second team in the league was the Kansas City Chiefs with 96 RPOs. So this is definitely a divergence from the Andy Reid concept and systems of offense. Okay, this is definitely a slight altering here, guys. There's no doubt about that. That's this guy's offense, but we got to talk deeper than this, guys. You know that. There's some other things that got to be discussed about Josh McDaniels. So let's get into the things that are outside of play design, play scheme, things like that. Elephant in the room. This guy's going to want personnel power. So this is not a Andy or a Doug Peterson or Andy Reid, kind of like Mike Kafka, Andy Reid line of the tree hiring. Like, he's going to want personnel power. I can tell you that now. Now, will he want full power over personnel? No, but he's not going to be this meek and mild, way that you had Doug Peterson in here. I mean, took Doug a long time to finally stand up and push back. Josh McDaniels won't be that guy. So in that way, that is a plus. That, Howie Roseman is certainly going to get pushback here. This guy's not going to be as laid back or as agreeable to personnel decisions because we drafted somebody compared to just winning. He's going to put the guys out there he feels are going to win. That part I can say. I'll come back to some of the better, some of the good aspects to Josh McDaniels, but let's go ahead and tackle some of the elephants in the room here. Because he could potentially have a lot of influence over personnel, we got to discuss the Tim Tebow situation. Giving up multiple draft picks to go get Tim Tebow, and from what I understand is he may not have been the sole decision maker in that, but he wanted him. He helped facilitate this. That was a really bad personnel judgment. I like Tim Tebow as a person, but come on, man, that's not an NFL level quarterback. And you gave up a lot of draft capital in the first round to go get him. Josh McDaniels can kind of be a wild card. He can do some things that make you scratch your head and make you go, why? I mean, who scouted this? Why are we doing this? On the other side of things, I can't just not talk about what happened with the Indianapolis Colts job. This guy might be directly related to why Doug Peterson got fired. He was supposed to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He waited until the day that they made the announcement to back out of the agreement, which then led them to come take Frank Reich, which split up this perfect marriage we had between Frank Reich and Doug Peterson, which probably made our offense, those two together, it was lightning in a bottle. That doesn't sit well with me, and I know it's just football, guys. You can't take things like that personal. I get it, but I don't forget that kind of stuff either, though, guys. I don't. I know what he did. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to the 90s. I know what you did last summer, bro. I know what he did here. The positives about, I'm going to go into a couple more negatives, guys. He's a little hard to make out when it comes to judging his quarterbacks, but I do have a concern that while he will be more run dominant than what we've had underneath Doug Peterson, it does concern me that he's evenly split between dividing up passing plays that are shorter yardage, right? So he's got about an even split between the amount of passing attempts his quarterbacks take that are under 2.5 seconds to those that are over 2.5 seconds. But because he uses play action and he does use some Air Coryell in his scheme, so he is trying to hit the deep seams and stuff at times. His average quarterback, their time to throw is still 2.8. And that was, Tom Brady had this issue the year prior, and Cam Newton was 2.84 seconds to time to throw. And it's not quite as bad as what we had with Carson. It's nowhere near as bad as what we had with Jalen Hurts last year, but I mean, that's still, it's still a concern. But I mean, you could kind of explain it away with play action passing. It takes a little longer to set those plays up. And if you're being honest in the play action, you can honestly fool the defense to keep the pass rush off of you. I get it. It's still a concern, though, guys. I mean, it's still there in the back of my mind that is a true fact. Guys, the positives here is this guy's good at developing talent. He is. He's a good talent developer. I do think that he would coach the coaches hard. No doubt about those. I do. And I'll admit, it really doesn't, the head coach, so much of what they do is outside of play calling, guys. It gets overly exaggerated just how important play calling is. Believe it or not, man, a lot of guys could call plays. It's not as complicated as people like to think. Now, those that are really special at it, of course, but most guys are pretty adequate. It's going to be about what you can surround someone with. It's about who would be coming with this person, who would be retained from the current staff, right? Like, those are the things that really matter. Like, what are you surrounding this individual with? I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. I got a feeling you guys are going to be very lukewarm on this hiring, and I don't blame you. I am also very lukewarm on this particular hiring if it comes down the pipeline this way. There's still a chance that Brian Daboll could be our hire, right? There's still a chance that Deuce could be the hire. Eric Bieniemy is still in the running. Like, it's not over with. It's not over with yet, guys. But a 9-hour meeting, I mean, come on, man. It draws your attention, doesn't it? All right, y'all. Let me know your thoughts.